Sometimes I wonder about the person who started VEDS. I never watched their channel because I wasn't around for the first VEDS. I came in a little bit later. And I remember I tried to find it a couple years back and I couldn't. I imagine it's taken down like a lot of old YouTube channels. But I kind of wonder what they were thinking when they started this. I have some ideas, speculation, I think fairly well grounded and just knowledge of what the YouTube scene was like at the time. But I really doubt that they thought that well over 10 years, I haven't done the math, but it's probably closer to like 15 years now, there'd still be people doing it. None of the same people who started, but a pretty solid core group of people. A really cool group of 6 of my friends who I've never met outside of uh, the internet. Listen, I don't like the internet right now. I'm pretty anti-internet as far as things go. I have gotten rid of a lot of my social media this year, or at least gotten rid of it on my phone where it's easy to access. But I am deeply grateful for the internet because I get to every September go to VEDS, this weird place that isn't a place. I think of it sometimes as like a summer camp where we all spread out over the other 11 months, and then we come back to the summer camp and we catch up and we talk and we make our videos, and it's just a fun time. So today I'm going to be celebrating my favorite part of VEDS, my fellow VEDSies, and highlighting my favorite video from each of them, while also just talking about what has made their videos really cool this year, because y'all's videos have been really cool this year. Let's start with Alicia. Alicia, you said something in your showing up imperfectly video, calling VEDS kind of the standing appointment, which I really like. I really like that terminology. It's probably better than my summer camp terminology. I think what highlights is this intentionality to VEDS, and which is what you're kind of getting at in this video, is that consistency maybe not, that may not be the thing you're bringing to VEDS, but I do think you always bring an intentionality with your videos. They're very thoughtful, they're very thought-provoking. I think that intentionality has really benefited VEDS, and I think my favorite video from you this year demonstrates that intentionality really well. And that is My Life's Work Has Paid Off, which is a really beautiful sentiment to have. And one, as you know, we all progress further into life, the world around us gets steadily and dependably more chaotic. A very important sentiment to express and to hold on to. And there's a joy to it all. And I was just really happy for you when I watched that video. And, as I was rewatching candidates for my favorite videos from everyone, that was one that definitely stood out to me. And it's a personal one, so I don't feel too comfortable, commentating on it. But I'll just say, as your digital friend, it was a very exciting video to watch. Next up, Graham. Graham, good to see you as always. I really liked an arc that you had over your early VEDS videos this year, which was what I'm calling the Toronto arc. It was a really cool moment for you professionally, or at least as a fan of your music. It was cool to see that moment where you were able to be the artist on board, but also, be able to experience Toronto with you and go to Niagara Falls and to the Hockey Hall of Fame. But my favorite little leg of that arc was the Elgin and Winter Gardens video. I think one of the cool things about these kind of trip adventure videos you do is how you curate what you show us. Something I struggle with whenever I go to like a museum or any place that I want to show off in VEDS. It's like, well, how do I capture it all? And I think you take like a maximalist approach. You try to capture a bunch of stuff, but like you don't capture it all. But you're able to really capture the environment and the feeling of a place. And that's really cool. You're a storyteller along with being a songwriter. and I really enjoyed kind of that extended adventure that you had. And then, of course, in the back of the month, you were able to get into some of your other types of videos, which is another thing I love about you, is that you have all these different versions of videos that you put out. And I've just enjoyed being able to watch that stuff. On to James. James, I loved what you put out this year. Partially because it made me feel nostalgic for VEDS has gone by. Reminding me of old videos you made and just old VEDS, what was going on back in the day. I found that to be a really cool thing. And, going back to the beginning of the video where I was talking about like the beginning of VEDS, right? Like VEDS doesn't have like a documented history, right? Like it's not the timeline of VEDS isn't necessarily preserved. But I feel like you actually did a little piece of that with your storyline this year. My favorite video from you comes from early in the month. It was your producer's video. The earlier you are in VEDS, the more prep time you have, the more complex you can make a video. And of course, you've been making complex videos throughout the month. So you're not limited to that first week. But I think that producer's video is a first week video in the way of like, that takes so much time and effort that I think you have to get out in that first week. I think you can just see all of your skills as a video maker and your skills as someone who talks about media and critiques media. I thought that was really cool. And I'm just excited for what's coming down the pike with your videos. It's day 29. And if anyone has seen James's day 29 video, then big things have happened with the storyline. A very big plot point has played out, and I'm excited to see how that plays out. But moreover, I think I'm just excited to see how your videos continue a consistent progression. And what I mean by that is like a consistent progression isn't constant. It doesn't mean that like every video is going to be better than the last. I don't think that's sustainable. But I do think that when you look at the aggregate of all the videos, you can see greater ambitions, greater quality, greater production in all of it. I think with my year, I kind of intentionally let this be a stagnant year where I don't try anything new, where I kind of keep everything level. But this year, I think you were able to try something very big, very new, which was really cool. Jeffrey, it's Jeffrey time. The other Vetsy doing a storyline. Theirs has had their climax, and now in their day 29 video, and now it's time for the kind of the emotional follow through in their day 30 video. I assume haven't seen it because it's not day 30 yet, but very fun to watch that story go along as well. And I like what Erebus says in the day 29 video, where Erebus is like, I'm happy when I'm taking over something, or like some variation of that, which I think is a fun kind of genre motivation. And I can't wait to see what they try to take over next. Hopefully not my channel. My favorite video from you this year came from one of the challenges. I believe it was Tessa's, to try something new. And that was the video where you were playing, and forgive me, I cannot remember the drum's name. I should have written it down, but every time I watch the video, it just swoops out of my head. But as you were learning to play the drum and playing a couple different songs, I really like the procedural nature of that video and how you can see the progression over time as you kind of work through it. You have all the basic principles you need to learn how to play this drum, and just being patient and giving it time, and very quickly be able to learn music, which is incredible, right? Like I took piano for 6 years and I can barely scratch out a tune, right? Like I took guitar for a couple years and I know 3 songs. So I'm really impressed with that. But I think the procedural narrative that ran through that video, I think, was what was really compelling to me about it. And I actually think procedural is a good word for some of your other videos. They proceed. there is a system to them, and they progress, and it's always fun to see how those will unfold. whether that's your Star Kid videos or your Mystery Case File videos or your storyline. And now on to Pip. Pip, your video and subject matter at least won't be as fun to talk about because it's your January video. I'm not going to dive into that too much. You expressed what you meant to express in that video very thoughtfully and very well. I think what I want to do is kind of use that video as a lens to talking about your whole structure of VEDS this year. Your 11 videos that followed last year's VEDS and led up to this year's VEDS, which you scattered non-linearly throughout the month, was a really interesting way of tackling VEDS. And obviously there's what we've all commented on at this point, which is just it's a smart way of doing VEDS. You've got a third of your stuff done already, but also it allows you, and I think this is what you said in the description of your January video, it allows you to have kind of a conversation with your past self. We got to see what a Pip was up to in January. We got to see what a Pip was up to in March. We got to see what Pip was up to in last November. And we got to see what all of their experiences and activities and thoughts and ideas, how those kind of ended up speaking to what you were doing in your VEDS. There were definitely some threads that you could weave throughout, but because you didn't just post them linearly, it didn't feel obvious. There was a little bit more subtlety and nuance to it, which I appreciated. Then we have your January video, right? A very serious topic that you covered that was told beautifully through your editing. The way you were able to compose that video was unique and it had an authentic voice to it and it was really cool. And if you had just made all your videos this month, that video wouldn't exist. But also, like you said in that description, you weren't able to finish that video in January. You needed to get through it and finish it in September. And I don't want to put words in your mouth or speak out of turn here, but I think the collaboration you've done with yourself is really impressive. And I think that it kind of is all encapsulated in that January video. And last but not least, Tessa. Tessa, your theme this month was progress. I think that you can definitely see that theme play out throughout your videos. Progress is not always a spectacle. A lot of times progress is just doing the mundane, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. And we're going to do a writing sprint, and we're going to do a reading sprint, and we're going to do chores. And then we're going to do some more reading, and we're going to do some more writing, and we're going to do this and that. And of course you threw in a lot of other interesting videos, but I actually enjoyed how you made VEDS work for you this year and how you took what you needed to do and you didn't let VEDS get in the way of that. And I think that's the danger with something like VEDS. It is a disruptive thing in your life. But if you're really committed to progress, then you're not going to let it disrupt you. Now, I don't know if that rings true. It may not. From an outside perspective, that's what it seemed like. And I think there was kind of a storyline in your VEDS. It wasn't a narrative storyline, but it was definitely a thematic one. The best example of that is your Finding Balance video. I think it's worded very well. I think it's a valuable sentiment. And I think it kind of encapsulates what you were trying to do this month. Like I said, I could be off base. This could all ring hollow. But I think that there was something in the totality of those videos. It's better execution of a theme than I ever have done. I think one of the cool things this month with everyone's videos is that more so than usual, by a margin, maybe, all of our videos have felt very different. And I mean, our videos always feel different. We are very individual and unique people. But, we are also all friends and we influence each other. And I think there is a certain cross-pollination that happens with our videos. But I feel like this year we all kind of leaned into a unique take on our videos. And I think that was cool. I think that when I think back to 2025 VEDS, that's what I'm going to remember. So, to my VEDSies, my digital friends, Alicia, Graham, James, Jeffrey, Pip, Tessa, thank you for doing VEDS. It's such a privilege that I get to be in a creative community with all of you. And I can't wait to see how your creativity continues. Whether that is in VEDS or outside of VEDS, who knows? But until tomorrow, my friends and fellow VEDSies, I'll see you later.